Hey everybody, Mr. Gordon here. I'm just going to do a quick tutorial on getting started with the Lego robotics. The Lego robots are kept in this cabinet here. To open this cabinet up, you open up the one door, and on the other side there's this little cable. You pull on the cable, it opens up both doors. The robots are stored on this shelf. They're set where there's plug-ins for each of the robots. It's important that at the end of class they get plugged back in. They'll work probably for a day on one charge, but then if they don't get plugged in overnight, they will not be operable in the morning. On the door, there are these cables. They're the USB cables that plug into the desktop computers. That's how you download the programs from your computer to your robot. So now that we know where they are, we're just going to take a little look at the robot and figure out how to turn it on and navigating the various buttons.
Alright, here we've got a close-up view of one of the Lego EV3 robots. And there's a few buttons on the robot that we're going to use to navigate. This is kind of like our back button. To turn it on, you're going to hold that square center button. These are basically like little computers, so they do take just a minute to get started up once you turn them on. While it's starting up, we'll look at a couple of different things going on here. This robot has a few different sensors. It's got a microphone, which is this one right here. It's got an ultrasonic sensor, which is this one right here. And then it's got a color sensor, which is this one here pointed at the floor. Those sensors are used to gather data and can be programmed to help the robot make intelligent decisions. Those sensors are all plugged in on the back of the brick into a numbered slot. And it's important to know which number each sensor is plugged into, because as you're programming, you need to set your program accordingly. So if your program is going to gather sound information, your program needs to acknowledge that the microphone and what port it's plugged into. So because our microphone is plugged into port 4, it's this one here, our program would need to reflect that. Alright, now that our robot is started up, we can see the screen a little bit. Kind of see the screen. There we go. Now, the arrow buttons will allow you to toggle between screens. The center square is kind of your enter button. Alright, there it's running an example program. This back button up here will exit out of the program. And that's also how you turn it off. If you hit the back button enough times, it'll bring up this power off. To power off, you slide over to the check mark and click off, and the robot will turn itself off. The next thing we're going to look at are the programs and how to get started in creating a program.